tonight, Business Director Erica.
Wonderful. Especially excited now that you're here and you're going to share some nuggets with us. And I know that you have a lot as far as the mindset and the belief of this industry. And I'm just excited for the people to hear your story and stuff. I mean, you're a busy mom, you're a healthcare professional, but not only that, you are building a huge agency. And so we're definitely going to get into it. Are you ready?
Oh yeah, I have the S on my chest.
That's right. That's right. My Shiro, another Shiro on Totally Lit. So
Yeah.
when we talk about protection is first and building for the community, what changed your mindset and what does life insurance is more than just funeral policies mean to you?
Wow, wow. So first of all, I know everybody here, but anyway, when I got into this space, Erica, I did not really understand what I was stepping into. I got into this space 10 years ago. 10 years ago in March, I got my license. I started with another company, and this year makes 5 years for OIC. Uh, But life insurance is so important because as I stepped into this space and learned about it, I realized that, I used to think of it as a bill. That was the first thing that I canceled, when we were running a bind, because unfortunately that's what we grew up with. We grew up with the aspect that, yeah, you need life insurance to bury you, but with my mindset, I mean, right? I got time. That's the mindset that a lot of our community have when I speak to young people. They don't understand the importance of making sure that you get something while you're young and you're healthy versus continuing to wait and say, oh, I don't need that right now, or my family's going to have to worry about that, or so forth. So life insurance is very, very important. It is the foundation of how we structure our financial house. So there's different types, understanding cash value meaning that you have money that's growing inside of a strategy where you can access while you're living. And to learn about, when I read the book Money, Wealth, and Life Insurance, oh my goodness, it solidified so much to me that I was like, whoa, I never looked at life insurance in this aspect. So and that's why I understand that it is important. Any type of protection is first. So whether it's a cash value policy or whether it's basically a term, just making sure that we educate our community that protection is first.
That's a handful. That's a lot. And it's very important. And I can see by your actions how passionate you are. You are part of so many committees in your agency and you're just an amazing leader. But when did your perspective switch with life insurance shift from protection to being one of the main strategies of life insurance, just instead of life insurance generally? What made your shift in focusing on protection first?
Wow. Well, they say they have a song called Experience is the Best Teacher. I don't know if y'all heard that before.
I remember.
That's
Yeah.
right. We understand that, right? So, growing up in a space of losing both of my parents at a young age, I was 17. I did know that my mom had a lot of life insurance. I don't know how much, but I know she had it on the job. She was an educator of 20 plus years. She had other policies that, because we saw the checks coming in. So I understand she was, making sure, but not understanding why life insurance was important until I had to step into that role and deal with some things. So after that, like I said, I got into this space in 10 years ago. But while I entered into this space, life was happening before my eyes, and I started witnessing my loved one. His health was declining, where he got to the point where he couldn't work anymore, and everything was tied to the job. So now that he has no more employment, we're searching for benefits because now he's on dialysis, and we can't get any life insurance. Everybody's saying he's uninsurable. I was like, what do you mean? Like, nobody want to take the risk because while he was young and healthy, he didn't understand the importance of getting it. So it was tied to the job. When that job let him go, the benefits stayed there. So one of the hardest things that I recall is 8 years ago having to bury my only brother. My older brother was 4 years older than me, he was 42. because he had no life insurance. We had one policy, thank God. We always have somebody in the family. My aunt, who didn't have any kids, she kept a little policy on everybody. Everybody that was born, she got a policy on. So we was able to utilize that, and thank God the family had the other resources to put them away really nicely. But that's when it resonated with me how important life insurance is, because now that he's gone, yes, we laid him to rest, but he had a son. His son was 8 years old, and he couldn't leave his son anything. There was nothing left. And that's not the legacy that he wanted. He always talked about how he was going to make sure his son was well taken care of and so forth, but that didn't happen. And if he had the proper life insurance, if he had something, guess what? That could have happened if he knew.
Oh my goodness. That story is just powerful, that experience. So, how do you take that experience and explain the value of life insurance to someone who thinks that they're too young or they may be too healthy? Do you
Mhm,
use that
absolutely.
as fuel or
Oh,
how?
absolutely. It's like ignite. It's like what they call that ignition. This is like a flaming torch, right? So after going through that, yes, it was a light bulb that went off. And after I stopped grieving, because I grieved very hard, it was one day that says, okay, you got to turn your pain into purpose. You have to go out and help any and everybody you know and share that story, because he was the one that would have thought it would never happen to him. And in our community, a lot of people say that it can't happen to me or it won't happen to me, but we never know. So that really ignited me. That's what really made me look at this business where God placed into my lap as a mission, as a ministry, because now I am on the platform and able to reach and help those people avoid something that I went through as well.
That's amazing. Like I said, you are my shero and you are building a huge organization. And I just commend you for that. Speaking of community builder, what does that mean to you, being a community
Ooh,
builder?
community builder. Yes, it means making a positive impact in my community, making sure that the resources, the knowledge, the solutions that we have, that we are out, I'm out here spreading the word. Now, I can only do my part. I can only do share. I can only share my story. I can share the education. But at the end of the day, it is up for you to take action. But as a community builder, I'm so glad to be on a platform where I can make a difference in my community. So wherever I go, I can be that beacon of light or hope for someone when I can open my mouth and just share and just ask a question, and just ask a question like, okay, if something happens to you on the job, do you have life insurance outside of the job? Have you considered what will happen to your family if you're unable to generate an income? See, these questions are things that it's hard to think about, but is also reality that it can happen. And by them just having those questions, guess what? Now it opens me up to have a conversation and said, okay, I have something that may help you if you're willing to listen.
Yes, because you don't know what you don't know. And it's I'm very grateful that you're out there giving that information. You mentioned financial education. So how does financial education empower people beyond just selling them a policy?
Oh, financial education is the key. Like the first thing is you have to educate someone, because if they're not educated and they're just sold to, they won't understand the importance of it. They know that if they run into a bind, that's the first thing they're going to counsel like me, just like I did, right? But now that I know how important it is, guess what? Now I'm going to pick up the phone and say, okay, what can I do besides this? What other options do I have? Now it's the least likely thing to let go, because now they're educated on the importance of this and the impact that it has on their family. It has, so now that they're educated and they understand how it works, they're more apt to make sure that they take care of their responsibilities by making their payments and premiums on time.
Sure. So, how do you explain the role that life insurance plays in building generational wealth to
A
families
life,
in your community?
oh yes, Life insurance is everything. Like I said, a lot of things it's called proper protection. We have to protect our ability to generate income. We are the income generating machine for our family. If we break down, what will happen to our household? So understanding that life insurance is not for funerals. Shout out to my partner who just wrote that book, amazing book, and understanding the importance of what life insurance is for. It is a protection mechanism, meaning that I'm protecting my ability to generate my income for today and the future. Meaning something, if I can't control what happens to me tomorrow, already have what's necessary in place that my house will not fill that void financially. Of course, they're going to have to deal with it emotionally, physically no longer being there, but they don't have to fill that void financially because of the proper protection that's in place.
That is very powerful. So, as you are building your agency, just for yourself personally, after going through that ordeal with a family member, what does legacy mean to you personally now? And how does your agency fall into play with that?
Legacy is everything. I always wanted to get into a space where what I'm doing today will continue for generations to come. And I didn't know where to find it at first. I've had a job, still work as a nurse of 20 years, but I know that that job cannot be passed down for generations to come. And when I close my eyes, my position is already in the paper before I'm even called. So I had to find a platform like our Infinite Company where we can come in and work hard and build this company. But guess what? Now you have an opportunity to own a portion of it. Now that's legacy. And that's so big. So as I help other families and I help other partners enter into the space and share this opportunity, the same one that was shared to me and said, look, I'm giving you a silver platter. Now you have to work it and you have to till it. You got to till it. You got to plant, you got to do all of that. But I'm giving you an opportunity to come into a space, work hard, reach your goals, build it up, and now you can own a portion of it for your family. So that's big. Like that is a win for me. Not only am I helping myself, I'm helping those that are behind me. I'm helping my children, my children's children. Look, I'm praying I have another grandbaby or something soon. I don't know. Children's children, children, because of a decision that I made in order to step into a space where this is afforded. So as building a legacy and becoming equity partner, that means everything to me because I don't come from a background where I was a business owner. I'm a nurse. So the leadership, the business side, that was birthing me by basically coming to this platform, being coachable, willing to learn, willing to throw everything at it in order to say, I will leave a legacy for my loved ones. And it's just starting. So now that I hit equity partner, now it's like an extra zoom, 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 zoom. Then they got geared up a little, a little faster. But I'm so honored, and it is achievable. And I'm just being honest because when I got into this space 10 years ago, the first 3 years, it was rough. I didn't make any money, but guess what? I was learning everything. I was present in the moment because I know one day if I didn't quit, it will pay out. And it didn't come from that other company because God placed me here, but everything that I've learned, it wasn't wasted all the time that I was investing and people were telling me no and I was not getting any results, but I continued to persevere and be resilient and be unstoppable and put these blinders on and like tell people, look, you don't know, it's starting to pay out. So if you're on this platform and you're brand new and you may be in that space that I was, the answer is don't quit. Continue to plant the seeds, the harvest will come. That's right, Zeri. That's what my Zeri said. She was agreeing with me.
That is so inspiring. And you said that you've been in financial services for over 10 years. How do you stay relatable and impactful as you grow your organization?
10 years. It makes 10 years this year. I couldn't believe it. I just got in this space. I just wanted to learn. When I came into this space, I just wanted the knowledge in order to help myself. It was selfish, okay? It was personal. It was all about me. It was basically me running through a lot of money. It was me basically making more money and not seeing the results and realizing that I was missing something and said, okay, if I get this, and once I put the solutions in place, I'm good. So of course I was still passionate about the education and sharing, but when life happened and I what I witnessed, that it shifted real fast. It shifted to this is so much bigger than just your selfish goals. This is so much bigger because your community needs this. There is somebody that's facing the same thing. There is somebody that needs help. So now it became a mission versus a personal, I got out the selfish thing and started looking at it in a bigger picture.
Yes, I definitely can relate to just getting involved in the industry and needing the solutions and needing the education, and then looking at the impact that you can make in your community and buying into that mission. Let me ask you this, before we bring up the business partner whose book, we're all excited about, so he can share that with the community. If The question is, if someone walked away remembering one thing about life insurance from you, what would you want that to be?
Oh, I know Zero. You want to answer it? I love Zero. Let's see. Uh, One thing about life insurance is the foundation of your financial. That's something I did not understand. Life insurance is everything. Sure that you are protecting your income. It is so necessary to understand that you need it. There's a certain amount that you actually need, and it is not a bill. It is a savings strategy that will pay out in the future.
Spoken like a true shero. I am just so grateful to be a part of the OIC Totally Lit platform with you, and just excited about the leaders that are a part of this platform. And definitely wanted to give our other equity partner, business director, John Robinson, an opportunity to let us know why we should all, not only licensed agents, but anyone, what would be the benefits of reading your new book that's hot off the press?
All right, good evening. Good evening. Thanks for this opportunity. Let me share my screen real quick so everyone can see what it looks like. Um, okay, so this is, let me go back here. 1 second. So here we go. The book is called Life Insurance is Not for Funerals. And the benefit that this book has for the community is that it gives us the education that we need to make good decisions about this very important subject. Life insurance is one of those things that, number one, can allow you to create an estate right away. You could be working for minimum wage, but the minute you get a 500,000 or $1 million policy, you now have an estate, right? But if you don't understand that, you will not handle it properly. And life insurance can be the way to set the foundation for wealth building in the family for generations to come. And so we've had, it's like having a fully loaded SUV, maybe one of the big ones, and they got all the lights and the navigation and everything. But the only thing we're doing is we're gonna store some bags of dirt in it so that if it rains, we can put it in front of the door, something like that. I mean, it makes no sense, right? Or you go buy a nice big car, and the only thing that's important in the car is a spare tire. We got a spare tire. No, so there's so much more use for a life insurance program, especially the programs of today that have living benefits that you don't have to die to use. that can come to your rescue in desperate times, like dealing with chronic or critical illness or critical injury. So there's so much more to life insurance, and it's a sad thing that we're limited. Many of us are limited to simply one small view of it, which is the funeral. So I tell people all the time, life insurance is for lifestyle protection, income replacement, wealth transfer, legacy building, all these things. And if you get life insurance for those reasons, you will always have funeral money. You don't have to worry about that. But if you only get it for funerals, you may lose everything else you have because it's not protected. So I just recommend that everyone gets this book. It's got some worksheets in it. You got some places for your goals and your notes. This ought to be a workbook that every family need to have so that they can understand it, understand how what they need. They don't have to sit in front of the life insurance agent totally unprepared or ignorant about the benefits of life insurance in our lives. So thanks for the opportunity to share. Back to you, Erica.
Thank you. It is just a blessing to work with amazing independent agents who understand the impact of financial education with communities. Thank you, EP Business Director Kimberly Williams, for those insights. I've taken so many good notes, and I hope you guys have done so the same. This will conclude our Totally Lit for tonight. We will see you guys again Tuesday night. Now, if you have any
What's going on?
questions or any topic requests, please use the link in the chat or you can scan the QR code. Remember, we are building wealth in our community in one generation, and we definitely want to give our community the support and the knowledge that they deserve.